It's Friday, February 4th, and I'm speaking to you from the hotel at the center of the Truckers' Freedom Convoy in downtown Ottawa. Over the past year, the federal government in Canada, under Prime Minister Trudeau, has taken away Canadians' charter rights, constitutional rights to travel freely, has taken away truckers' rights to travel, their mobility rights, their ability to make a living under the Constitution for those who've chosen to be unvaccinated. This afternoon, the chief of the city police for Ottawa made announcements that are disturbing and should trouble Canadians and those around the world who support this trucker protest for freedom. The police chief essentially announced an assault on the protesters. He announced that very specific measures that we normally only see instituted by oppressive regimes around the world would be initiated. He effectively announced that he is going to be taking away Canadians' charter right of peaceful assembly and freedom of expression. We are being censored. Please get this out to the world.
There is no facilitation of food, water, fuel, logistics, or funding by any member of this police service or any other police service that I am aware of. Let me repeat. There is no supply of food, water, fuel, logistics, or anything else that relates to enabling this demonstration by any member of the Ottawa Police Service or any other police service that I am aware of. Should that information come to me, you can be clear, as Chief of Police in this service, I will conduct a full investigation. I will use the full extent of the Police Service Act and, if relevant, the Criminal Code to pursue charges against such a member who would do that.
Red alert for the convoy, ladies and gentlemen. I have just got news that GoFundMe not only paused and stopped the funding, they are blocking every cent. And as of February 19th, anybody who does not request a refund, GoFundMe is literally stealing that money and will give it to whatever charity they see fit. So they want to take the $10 million that was meant for the convoy, steal that money so the convoy gets nothing, and then give that to money to wherever the government cronies tell them. This is the biggest scam in the history of online fundraising. GoFundMe should be sued, and anybody who donated to the convoy, request a refund immediately. There will be a new avenue for you to donate to this cause. They are not going to stop us, not with this bullshit.
All right, big news, big news. The GoFundMe has been suspended. They caved to political pressure, and you know there was a lot of pressure from the powers that ought not to be to shut down the GoFundMe. Anybody that did send it, by the way, it was over $10 million when it got frozen. It's unbelievable. I think there's going to be massive boycotts now against GoFundMe. So if you donated to GoFundMe, you can apply for a refund by February 19th. The details are right on their site. There are other ways to help. The truckers already got $1 million out of that. And they also have an e-transfer set up. But as far as I know, like just over half of people viewing my videos are here in Canada. And a big chunk of the other half is from the US. And I know a lot of US viewers were supporting, but you can't e-transfer to us, and we can't e-transfer to you. So they do have an e-transfer email address set up for Canadians to send whatever they'd like to donate, and then it just bypasses GoFundMe and all these the third parties, basically. They also have a Facebook group, so I'm going to put that link in the description below so you can follow along and you can see if there's other ways to help, and you can ask questions there as well. I mean, I can't really see any other way to do it. Like, I don't want to get involved on the financial side of things. I know people have offered to send me money I mean, I don't want your money. I have a buy me a coffee button on my homepage here on YouTube. You can always do that, but I'm not looking for cash. I would rather support the truckers. You know, maybe I'll sell shirts or t-shirts or something and then give the proceeds to the truckers through e-transfer, because I can e-transfer. So if the money's in my account, I can send it to them. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure something out, but I had to let you guys know this for now. We want to do everything we can to make sure those guys have food and supplies. By the way, one thing you won't see on the mainstream news is the truckers were out there feeding the homeless in the streets in Ottawa. So, I mean, they're doing such amazing things there, not just standing up for our rights and freedoms. So we need to support them any way we can, but I had to let you guys know this is breaking news, and it was just frozen this afternoon, and you know that Trudeau is smiling from ear to ear right now, and so are the few detractors out there who pressured GoFundMe. So, you know, I think we need to show GoFundMe that cancel culture is very real, and they're about to be canceled.
Okay, I'm going to read one of the articles that I found online, probably one of the better articles there is out there. It's at planettoday.com. It says, GoFundMe steals $9 million from Canada's Freedom Convoy truckers under pressure from Trudeau. Despite initially refusing to cave to pressure from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his allies, GoFundMe announced late Friday evening that it had decided not to disperse any more money to the Freedom Convoy and its supporters gathered in Coutts, Alberta, and Ottawa. Users will now need to request a refund of their donation or risk the possibility that the company will instead reroute it to an approved charity. As Rebel News editor-in-chief Ezra Levant reported in a tweet, GoFundMe has decided to take, or some might say steal, the roughly Canadian $9 million that was supposed to be used to pay for supplies like gas, food, and other necessities for the truckers, and instead dole that money out to charities of the company's choosing, unless donors fill out a request form. Why the company has decided on this policy instead of instating automatic refunds for donors isn't clear, but as Levant joked, what a windfall for Black Lives Matter, Greenpeace, and Planned Parenthood. Exactly, that's what I thought. GoFundMe claimed that the fundraiser is in violation of Term 8 of its Terms of Service Clause, and also explained that it often works with local authorities to, quote, make sure we have a detailed understanding of the facts on the ground, unquote. The decision was made in order to ensure GoFundMe remains a, quote, trusted platform. Others wondered how any of this is legal. The Ottawa police, meanwhile, insist that demonstrators in the city are acting, quote, unlawfully, unquote. Several have been arrested, mostly for charges that may seem serious but actually aren't, for making threatening statements on social media and for other issues. Ottawa police have also warned that they will be collecting as much digital and financial information as they can from both the truckers and anybody who donates to support them. In a threatening statement, the police implied that supporters of the Freedom Convoy could face prosecution just for donating. Yeah. At this point, there's really nothing else for users to do but request their refund so that GoFundMe doesn't simply take their money and also never donate to another fundraiser on that platform again. And that's exactly what I was thinking.
I want to ask the mayor if he will pick up the phone and call GoFundMe in the States directly and demand that they cease and desist sending money to these unlawful protesters. And perhaps while he's at it, he could pick up the phone and ask the Prime Minister to do the same. We've had some conversations about perhaps suing GoFundMe, but legal action takes time, and this is urgent. We need to cut off the pipeline of funding to these people that are unlawfully, mercenaries, if you will, that are unlawfully protesting and occupying our communities.
So there you have it. You heard it from Ottawa City Council yourself. This is a manipulation of the website's terms of service. I've been following this closely, and these truckers have not incited hate speech, not that I've seen. In fact, they've been cleaning trash in Ottawa and feeding the homeless because they've had an abundance of food due to all the, quote, fringe few citizens that have been making sure they got food and medicine, despite the fact that the police tried to put up a blockade so that the truckers couldn't get any food from outside supporters. They tried to have vehicles towed, threatened everyone with military at one point, and threatened them with being put in jail. And like I said, having their trucks towed. But from the way I understand it, when the mayor called the tow companies to inquire about having trucks towed, apparently all the tow truck companies said that they had COVID. Did you hear that? All the tow truck companies had coronavirus and they were having to shelter in place, which is hilarious. But I think that the tow companies understand that these truckers are having this protest for them as well. When people look at this freedom convoy, they think, that all this disruption is for the truckers' health wishes, and it is on some level, but this quickly became about so much more than that. Some of the notes and the cards that were sent into these truckers by children and other Canadians were very touching. In fact, it's hard to listen to the voices of all the children thanking them and not get teary-eyed. Something I wanted to point out is that GoFundMe has had controversy like this before. They stopped the fundraising for the legal fees for the Kyle Rittenhouse campaign, quoting incitement of violence, and said it went against their terms of service then as well. I understand there's a group of people that are always extremely vocal, and they'll try to appear that they are the majority, but they aren't. When cancel culture comes full circle for these people, I think it's exactly what they deserve. This should be the last straw for all citizens that love freedom, and I'm really happy for Give, Send, Go. Good for them for stepping up and making it possible for these truckers to stay there as long as they need to. I know that there's a left and right paradigm in Canada and America when it comes to the politics, but there should be no politics involved in this. Even if you're liberal, you should still want freedom. This has gotten way out of hand. To live in a free country is a gift, but freedom is not free. There has always been a struggle between the people and those who seek to rule over them. This isn't something that just started in the last 20 years. We seem to think that because we're a civilized society, that we don't have to worry about guarding our God-given rights, and that's just not the case. These World Economic Forum type people like Justin Trudeau have had a plan in place for who knows how long. And the thing about these families is they are constantly trying to reach their end goal, which is the New World Order and global governance. People think that this is a conspiracy, but I have news for you. It is not a conspiracy. These tyrants would love for you to think it's a conspiracy because that would just make their job of enslaving you even easier. Justin Trudeau isn't someone particularly liked by the people, and I didn't think that was a big secret. I've researched these families for years, and his father was alleged to have been involved in the MK Ultra type programs and some very, very dark stuff. And I would think by now that this is fairly mainstream. I would think. Look at everything that's been coming out in the last couple of years with the Clintons and Jeffrey Epstein. And don't think this is just an American thing, because it's not. It's a global thing. Mexico, America, and Canada for sure, because they're all buddies. And they help each other get into power because they all have the same goal in mind, the New World Order. The last thing I want to say before I play a couple really awesome clips that I'm going to end this video with is we have the power. We, the people, have the power. We always have. They don't want us to think that, but we do. And this trucker convoy is an excellent way to put the balance of power back where it needs to be. 2 weeks to flatten the curve has turned into 2 years and a whole lot of garbage in between. This is not a Democrat or Republican thing. although they would like it to be, but it's not. Canada is a free country. America is a free country. Europe is a free country. They try to divide us by race, age, political affiliation, rich or poor, what religion you are, and most recently by medical preference. Understand that we're all different. We were born different and we'll die different from each other, but our spirit will always want to be free. If we let these tyrants divide us, we'll lose our freedoms, just like we have been slowly losing our freedoms since at least 9/11. They're not going to take all our rights away at once because we would all notice. No, they will scare you into thinking that they know what's best for you by repeating whatever propaganda they can through their paid-off media friends. Fear is the best way for them to take our rights because we'll be willing to do just about anything so long as we can stay safe. But here's the thing. These people have proven to us time and time again they don't know what's best for themselves. How in the world do they know what's best for us? These people are seriously messed up in the head. Have you ever looked into these people's personal lives or their family, or where they come from? They don't care about you. They don't care about your country, and they don't care about your God-given rights. They are selected, not elected, and they have one mission to accomplish. And don't think for 1 second that a zebra changes its stripes. We all want the same thing, to be free, to make our own decisions for our own health and for our children's health. We all want the same thing, to be free, to make our own decisions for our health and our children's health. I'll finish up with this clip.
Hey everybody, so it's Bridget and I.
Hi.
We're in a room right now. It's kind of cool. Just all the truckers out there, okay, with this GoFundMe thing, please everybody be calm. We are fine. This is probably going to work out even better than it did before because we're going to expose more liberal leftist pieces of you know what. In this room right now, we got Bridget, head lawyer Keith, other lawyer Ava, Andre, head lawyer, Tim, guys over here, banking, accountant. I don't think they know who they're fucking with. Okay, guys?
We got this.
We got this, guys. We're going to wake up this world even more so now.
Everywhere.
You want to see how biased this world gets when it comes to liberals? It's coming, guys. We're coming. Everybody, head for Ottawa this weekend. We're going to have a little bit of a shindig, and everybody's going to get along and keep those hugs and smiles, because that's exactly what we're here for. We want no mandates, and we want unity. And so far, we've achieved the unity so much better, haven't we?
We have freedom for everyone.
Guys, share this. Get this out there. All those trucks in the yards need to hear this message. I will get out there and start talking to everybody as soon as I can. We just got a few little hiccups with lawyers here to figure out right now.
Who knew?
So much for a peaceful night. Have you had a peaceful night since we got here?
Not really, no.
It's always been peaceful, though. Just busy.
Busy, so busy. Thank
See you
you
guys.
for all the emails.
Bye-bye, guys.
I want to ask the mayor if he will pick up the phone and call GoFundMe in the States directly and demand that they cease and desist sending money to these unlawful protesters. And perhaps while he's at it, he could pick up the phone and ask the Prime Minister to do the same. We've had some conversations about perhaps suing GoFundMe, but legal action takes time, and this is urgent. We need to cut off the pipeline of funding to these people that are unlawfully mercenaries, if you will, that are unlawfully protesting and occupying our communities.